Boys and girls, if you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. Awesome. Good morning. Welcome to our lower school end of the year awards celebration. My name is Wendy Titus, and I have the privilege of serving as lower school principal. This year has been an incredible journey of growth, learning, and memorable experiences. Today, we gather together to celebrate and recognize the hard work and accomplishments of our students from 1st through 4th grade. Parents and grandparents, your support and encouragement have played a significant role in your child's success, and we are grateful for the partnership we share in nurturing their development. Before we begin our awards presentation, I would like to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to our incredible teachers. Teachers, will you please stand? That includes parapros. Parapros, please stand as well. I don't think they heard me, but that includes parapros as well. Throughout this school year, they have shown unwavering dedication, passion, and commitment to our students' education, spiritual development, and personal growth. Our teachers have not only imparted knowledge, but also inspired curiosity, encouraged creativity, and fostered a love for learning. They've been mentors, guides, and role models, going above and beyond to ensure that each student reaches their full potential. Teachers, thank you for your hard work, your patience, and the countless hours you have invested in making this year a success. Your positive influence has impacted our students' lives, and we are truly grateful for all that you do. We could not do it without you, so thank you so much. Parents, thank you for being here. Let's open in a word of prayer. Lord, we just thank you for this day, for the opportunity that we have to celebrate the accomplishments, the gifts, the talents that you've blessed these kids with. Lord, I pray that this morning will be honoring and pleasing to you, that we will give you all the glory, that we will continue to work hard and do our best to honor and glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen. We are going to start with our Specials Awards.
One student per class in each grade level is awarded for outstanding participation, attitude, and achievement in each of these areas. In first grade art, in Mrs. Nelson's class, Charlie Robertson. In Mrs. Attard's class, Emmett Miller. In Mrs. Huggins' class, Aaliyah Tanur. In Miss Ringwald's class, Henley Kostelnick. In Mrs. Van Horn's class, Caroline Kitch. In second grade, in Miss Davis's class, Presley Stevens. In Mrs. Floresta's class, Eiley Joy King. In Mrs. LeClaire's class, Weston Rhine. In Mrs. Romine's class, Patrick Smith. In third grade, Mrs. Collins' class, Elise Fungawing. Mrs. Hughes' class, Isabella Hurst. Mrs. Sharp's class, Hannah Beal. Mrs. Wilczynski's class, Olivia Dignon. And in fourth grade, Mrs. Bear's class, Lila David. Mrs. Martin's class, Emma Ray. And Mrs. Reynolds' class, Marion Howell. Let's give these students a round of applause again.
Good morning. I'm Carol Coleman, and I will be reading the Technology Specials Awards this morning. In first grade, in Ms. Nelson's class, we have Dawson Norton. Mrs. Attard's class, Lorelei Jones. Mrs. Huggins' class, Abby Rowland. Ms. Ringwald's class, Rowan Hutchinson. Ms. Van Horn's class, Ansley Yambor. In second grade, Ms. David's class, Mary Claire Thompson. Ms. Floresta's class, Sienna Ramsey. Ms. LeClaire's class, Olivia Kennedy. Ms. Romine's class, Emma David. In third grade, Ms. Collins' class, Madison Moody. Ms. Hughes' class, Everett Speck. Ms. Sharp's class, Millie Johnson. Ms. Wachinski's class, Dean Wood. In fourth grade, Ms. Bear's class, Kylie Bonds. Ms. Martin's class, Everly Ragsdale. Ms. Reynolds' class, Andrew Wine.
Good morning, buenos días y bienvenidos. We're Spanish class and awards. First grade, Mrs. Nelson, Levi Redliff. Mrs. Satar's class, Lila Grace Cerito. Mrs. Huggins' class, Gabriel de la Vega Rodriguez. Ms. Ringwald's class, June Clark. Mrs. Van Horn's class, Lucy Bramlett. Second grade, Ms. Davis's class, Jaden Pugmore. Mrs. Floresta's class, Amy Reedy. Mrs. LeClaire's class, Mona Madu. Mrs. Romine's class, Shaylee Catherine. Third grade, Mrs. Collins' class, Dakota O'Neill. Mrs. Hughes' class, Audrey Dunkerley. Mrs. Sharp's class, Isabel Canua. Mrs. Wachinski's class, Audrey Wine. Fourth grade, Mrs. Bear's class, Gabby Irby. Mrs. Martin's class, Oliver Houston. Mrs. Reynolds' class, Mackenzie Wright.
morning. I'm Heidi Konchak. I will be handing out the PE awards. For first grade, in Miss Nelson's class, William Berry. In Mrs. Attard's class, Nathan Miller. In Mrs. Huggins' class, Leighton Greening. In Mrs. Ringwald's class, James Richmond. In Mrs. Van Horn's class, Sadie Pressman. For second grade, in Mrs. Davis's class, Callie Baddick. In Miss Floresta's class, Ariana Dagahi. In Mrs. LeClaire's class, Henry Bonds. In Miss Romine's class, Theo Skavicki. In third grade, in Miss Collins' class, Elsie Yingling. In Miss Hughes' class, Evelyn Curse. In Miss Sharp's class, Bella Bowman. In Miss Wilczynski's class, Caleb Hughes. For fourth grade, in Miss Bear's class, Mila Fanaki. In Miss Martin's class, Deacon Kane. And Miss Reynolds' class, Drake Smith.
Hello, my name is Lauren Grimes, and I will be handing out the music awards this morning. For first grade, Miss Nelson's class, Riley Cisco. For Mrs. Attard's class, Rylan Siegla. For Miss Huggins' class, Mia Jacobs. For Miss Ringwald's class, Ava Willis. For Miss Van Horn's class, Sakara Holloway. For second grade, Miss Davis's class, Aluchi Nwicki. Miss Floresta's class, Nathan Adai. Miss LeClaire's class, Carmela Scott. And Miss Romine's class, Cassidy Geyer. In third grade, Miss Collins' class, Rowan Godfrey. In Miss Hughes' class, Sienna Davis. In Miss Sharp's class, Sadie Michigan. And Miss Wilczynski's class, Delaney Dalfit. For fourth grade, Miss Bear's class, Addie Floresta. For Miss Martin's class, Kenna Desai. And Miss Reynolds' class, Harper Reeves. I will also be presenting awards for students who participated in Joyful Voices and Proclaim this year. Joyful Voices is our performance group, our choir that meets after school, and then Proclaim is our group who leads worship in chapel. So first, for the students who participated in Joyful Voices, we have Mia Boone, Bella Bowman, Sienna Davis, Delaney Douthit, Anna Free, Millie Johnson, Heidi Lee, Madison Moody, Kaylin Mosley, Wesley Neal, Madison Reeves, Amelia Slaughter, Lauren White, Elsie Yingling, Kylie Bonds, Kira Clark, Elsie Clark, Addie Floresta, Marion Howell, Alina Van Kirk, Emily Walborn, and Mackenzie Wright. And for the students who participated in Proclaim and helped lead chapel worship, we have Callie Baddock, Riley Meskimen, Presley Stevens, Mary Claire Thompson, Eiley King, Sienna Ramsey, Rowan Godfrey, Wilkes McElhaney, Dakota O'Neill, Anna Free, Sadie Michigan, Ella Paramore, Evie Sabom, Thomas Sharp, Annie Swanson, and Madeline Hendricks.
Good morning. My name is Lindsay Reinschild, and I am the lower school RISE teacher. RISE is in its 20th year at North Cobb Christian as a gifted enrichment class for qualifying students in grades 2nd through 4th. RISE provides gifted learners intentional challenges that promote creative problem solving and critical thinking. For each 2nd through 4th grade RISE class, I have the privilege of selecting one boy and one girl who consistently rose to the challenge in RISE this year. These students demonstrated mental perseverance, academic grit, are motivated to overcome obstacles, and had the ability to carry out our deeper thinking strategies. It is my great honor to give the Outstanding RISE Student Award in second grade to Reagan Quigley and Isaac Jones. In third grade, the award goes to Ruth Helton, Noah Williams. In fourth grade, the awards go to Mila Funaki, Thomas Sharp. Next is the 3-year award. This award is given to fourth grade RISE students who have participated in all 3 years of the Gifted program. These students are Mila Funaki, Mason Jones, Harrison Williams, Marion Howell, Annie Swanson, Jordan Tao, and Kenna Desai. Thank you.
Congratulations to all first through fourth grade students for their high achievements in visual art this year. Each student had a piece of art displayed at the Fall Visual Art Show in the FAB and our Spring Visual Art Show, Arts on the Lawn. All students, please stand where you are to be recognized.
Hello, my name is Jessie Contreras. I am the permanent sub, and I was a privilege of helping with the Math Olympics. The top 3 students per grade in 3rd and 4th grade participated in the ACSI Math Olympics. These students competed against other schools in computation and reasoning. Each participant receives their certificate. Those who placed receive ribbons at the event. For 3rd grade in the computation, Jack Foster, 2nd place. Layla Brown and Kendall Sinakis. 3rd grade, reasoning, Ella Paramore, 2nd place. Other participants is Maddox Daniel and Madison Moody. For 4th grade, for computation, Mila Funaki, 1st place. Songi Willis, 2nd place. Mason Jones. 4th grade reasoning, Colton Andrews, Lila David, and Andrew Wynn. For the ACSI Spelling Bee, 4 students from each grade participated in the lower school spelling bee. These students competed against other schools. Each participant receives a certificate. Those who place receive ribbons at the event. First grade, Dylan Hawthorne, Mia Jacobs, Valerie Cross, and Lori Wollaston. For second grade, Elijah Borjas got first place. Paxton Davis, Mona Madu, and Aluchi Nuke. For third grade, Will Dornberg got second place. Jack Foster, Anna Free, and Kendall Sanakis. And for fourth grade, Ella Lindsay, Evie Sabam, DJ Thomas, and Eva Vaughn.
This year, our chapel theme was Incredible Influence, impacting your circle for Christ. We learned that influence is the power to have an important effect on someone or something. If someone influences someone else, they are changing a person or thing in an indirect but an important way. Influencers are popular in the social media arena, but we want to learn how we can be an influencer for Jesus Christ. In Matthew 5:16, the Bible says, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Kids, help me with this next phrase. We know that influencers use their words, actions, and ideas to positively make a difference in someone's life. They've learned this year that their words, their actions, and their ideas make a big difference. So this year we studied character qualities of an influencer. Qualities like being trustworthy, having a responsive heart, being generous or an encourager, being passionate or curious, courageous, loyal, and authentic. We've learned and grown, so today we want to recognize our students for the character quality that they have grown the most in this year.
Each student will receive an Incredible Influence Certificate Award, highlighted with the character trait that they have grown in the most over the course of this school year. We're going to ask that you hold your applause until the entire class has been called. For Miss Nelson's class, William Berry, trustworthy. Emerson Burgess, responsive. Cristiano Cerulis Lopes, loyal. Collins Jefferson, encouraging. R.J. Manor, curious. Ruby Morgan, passionate. Dawson Norton, trustworthy. Malachi Owens, generous. Levi Ratliff, responsive. Charlie Robertson, responsive. Jackson Selinskis, encouraging. Riley Cisco, responsive. Jilly Speck, responsive. Madison Waddell, generous. Elliot Williams, curious. For Miss Attard's class, Mateo Cabanas, encouraging. Liam Campbell, authentic. Lila Grace Ceruto, trustworthy. Evelyn Fortenberry, authentic. Lily Gordon, loyal. Lorelei Jones, generous. Zora Kohler, passionate. Valerie Krause, responsive. Emmett Miller, curious. Nathan Miller, courageous. Mason Musa, trustworthy. Rylan Siegel, generous. Brady Sudbury, curious. Lainey Sudbury, trustworthy. Jaden Wiggins, loyal. For Miss Huggins' first grade class, Riley Boatwright, loyal. Bryson Chambers, courageous. Christian Cooper, encouraging. Gabriel de la Vega Rodriguez, encouraging. Olivia Floyd, curious. Leighton Greening, generous. Noah Helton, trustworthy. Vivi Inser, courageous. Mia Jacobs, trustworthy. Bram Ja, curious. Clara Jimenez Noriga, loyal. Abby Rowland, trustworthy. Zoya Tavakoli, encouraging. Aaliyah Tenure, passionate. Lori Williston, responsive. For Miss Ringwald's class, Genesis Bowden, generous. Mason Busby, curious. June Clark, authentic. Lydia Greer, responsive. Dylan Hawthorne, curious. Rowan Hutchinson, loyal. Henley Koselnick, passionate. Jacob Lepeak, generous. Asher Marrero, authentic. Christian McDonald, generous. Chandler Neal, courageous. Panayota Nicolopoulos, loyal. Carson Nolan, passionate. James Richmond, courageous. Junie Sevan, responsive. Ava Willis, trustworthy. For Miss Van Horn's class, Jack Abel, passionate. Lucy Bramlett, encouraging. Ramon Brown, responsive. Raleigh Brown, curious. Olivia Bitteau, authentic. Russell Douthit, curious. Joshua Galvin, passionate. Sakara Holloway, authentic. Harlan Kimball, passionate. Caroline Kitch, generous. Alexander Mumford, courageous. Sadie Pressman, courageous. Avery Schuler, loyal. Cash Wizard, responsive. Ansley Yamber, encouraging. And for second grade, we'll start with Miss Davis's class. Carter Atchley, responsive. Callie Baddock, passionate. Paxton Davis, loyal. Hunter Dial, curious. Hendrix Donovan, curious. Savannah Duvall, loyal. Corbin Kohler, authentic. Colin McKinnon, passionate. Riley Muskaman, authentic. LJ Mickey, courageous. Aluchi Nwiki, trustworthy. Jaden Palmore, responsive. Reagan Quigley, generous. Presley Stevens, encouraging. Mary Claire Thompson, generous. Miss Floresta's second grade class, Braxton Abernathy, loyal. Nathan Adai, passionate. Noah Bales, generous. Nora Berryman, authentic. Ariana Degahi, curious. Nancy Foster, loyal. Eiley King, courageous. Evan Mashburn, loyal. Jaden McGill, courageous. Maddox Montague, authentic. Teddy Newell, passionate. Michael Pressman, generous. Sienna Ramsey, responsive. Emma Reedy, encouraging. Reagan Smalls, curious. For Miss LeClaire's class, Noah Abraha, passionate. Henry Bonds, curious. Elijah Borges, courageous. Charlotte Eanes, responsive. Olivia Kennedy, trustworthy. George Kling, loyal. Mona Madahu, authentic. Aaron Reeves, generous. Weston Ryan, trustworthy. Noah Robertson, authentic. Carmela Scott, curious. Aaliyah Vasquez, passionate. Stella Whitner, curious. Isabella Zielinski, encouraging. For Miss Romine's class, Livy Allday, curious. Blake Armstrong, loyal. Zoe Bosa, passionate. Bryn Clauser, courageous. Shaylee Cothran, passionate. Emma David, trustworthy. Cassidy Greer, generous. William Howell, curious. Isaac Jones, trustworthy. London Lemster, encouraging. Henry Rentz, authentic. Jackson Sanders, responsive. Theo Skavicki, encouraging. Patrick Smith, trustworthy. On to third grade, Miss Collins' class. Mia Boone, courageous. Lila Brown, trustworthy. Will Dornberg, generous. Strickland Finch, curious. Elise Fungawing, trustworthy. Rowan Godfrey, passionate. Adelie Greer, loyal. Chase Jones, passionate. Nicholas Kontravosky, encouraging. Ellis Grace Manley, authentic. Wilkes McElhaney, authentic. Madison Moody, courageous. William Moore, curious. Dakota O'Neill, responsive. Caden Strickland, responsive. Zach Tenier, generous. Jackson Willis, loyal. Elsie Yingling, encouraging. For Miss Hughes' third grade class, Brendan Cooper, passionate. Eva Cooper, generous. Sienna Davis, loyal. Aubrey Dunkerley, authentic. Anna Free, generous. Nehemiah Fungawing, generous. Maggie Gleason, encouraging. Grayson Godley, loyal. Ruth Helton, authentic. Isabella Hurst, generous. Evelyn Kurtz, responsive. Scarlett McKenzie, authentic. Ryo McNeil, courageous. Remington Oaks, authentic. Madison Reeves, courageous. Everett Speck, curious. For Miss Sharp's third grade class, Hannah Beal, authentic. Jamie Bell, passionate. Bella Bowman, responsive. Harrison Dyer, courageous. Rowan Finnegan, curious. Jack Foster, trustworthy. Ellie Frazier, courageous. Millie Johnson, encouraging. Isabel Kanua, trustworthy. Dustin Lawton, loyal. Logan Lewis, passionate. Kaylee Mosley, generous. Sadie Michigan, responsive. Ella Paramore, encouraging. Tony Rowland, generous. Amelia Slaughter, responsive. Easton Tutton, curious. Noah Williams, loyal. Miss Wilchinski's third grade class, Maddox Daniel, passionate. Olivia Dignon, curious. Delaney Douthit, encouraging. Antonia Granada Vaca, trustworthy. Andrew Hamilton, authentic. Ariana Hawthorne, courageous. Liam Halloway, curious. Caleb Hughes, trustworthy. Heidi Lee, responsive. Alec Lucas, trustworthy. Wesley Neal, responsive. Jackson Clemens, generous. Kendall Solenskis, curious. Lucia Siegla, authentic. Luke Seaver, encouraging. Lauren White, curious. Dean Wood, encouraging. Audrey Wine, encouraging. On to fourth grade, Miss Bear's fourth grade class, Colton Andrews, curious. Kylie Bonds, generous. Mason Brown, responsive. Lila David, authentic. Sophia Elizade, courageous. Addie Floresta, trustworthy. Mila Fanecki, loyal. Jackson Hill, passionate. Gabby Irby, authentic. Mackenzie James, responsive. Jordan Jemison, authentic. Hiller Maynor, loyal. Samuel Ross, trustworthy. Hudson Terrell, passionate. Jordan Tao, loyal. David Vasquez, authentic. Cooper Walker, authentic. Songi Willis, encouraging. Ms. Martin's fourth grade class, Deacon Kane, courageous. Kenna Desai, curious. Oliver Houston, encouraging. Edison Jones, loyal. Noah Lee, responsive. Everly Ragsdale, generous. Emma Ray, courageous. Will Reed, authentic. Andrew Rupp, responsive. Evie Sabam, trustworthy. Thomas Sharp, curious. Jacob Stevens, courageous. Annie Swanson, encouraging. Cash Sweet, authentic. Alina Van Kirk, trustworthy. Eva Vaughn, passionate. Olivia Watley, loyal. Harry Williams, curious. For Miss Reynolds' class, Elsie Clark, responsive. Kiera Clark, generous. Diana Gwynn, encouraging. Madeline Hendricks, responsive. Marion Howell, passionate. Mason Jones, courageous.
Ella Lindsay, loyal. Henry Maluk, authentic. Crew Moore, curious. Jackson Norwood, trustworthy. Nathan Aluami, curious. Harper Reeves, trustworthy. Drake Smith, loyal. DJ Thomas, curious. Emily Walburn, generous. Mackenzie Wright, passionate. Andrew Wine, authentic. Next up, we will be doing our Gold Honor Roll. This award is given to students who have earned all A's and B's each trimester of the 23-24 school year. Students, we're going to ask that you please stand when your name is called. A certificate will be sent home with you tomorrow. Please hold applause until the entire grade level has been called. We're going to start with first grade, Miss Nelson's class, William Berry. Miss Attard's class, Liam Campbell, Lila Ceruto, Lily Gordon, Mason Musa, Rylan Segal, Brady Sudbury. Miss Huggins' class, Olivia Floyd, Bram Ja, Aaliyah Tenure. Miss Ringwald's class, Genesis Bowden, Lydia Greer, Rowan Hutchinson, Henley Koselnick, Asher Marraro, Christian McDonald, Carson Noland, James Richmond. Miss Van Horn's class, Harlan Kimball, Alexander Mumford, Sadie Pressman, and Avery Schuler. In second grade, Callie Baddock, Savannah Duvall, Riley Meskimen, LJ Mickey, Presley Stevens, Nathan Adai, Noah Bales, Nora Berryman, Evan Mashburn, Jaden McGill, Olivia Kennedy, Aaron Reeves, Weston Ryan, Carmilla Scott, Aaliyah Vasquez, Isabella Zielinski, Livy Alday, Blake Armstrong, Bryn Clauser, Shaylee Cothran, London Lemassieur, Henry Rentz, Jackson Sanders, and Theo Skibicki. In third grade, Strickland Finch, Elise Fungawing, Rowan Godfrey, Adelie Greer, Nick Kontravoski, Ellis Manley, Wilkes McElhaney, Madison Moody, Caden Strickland, Zach Tenure, Jackson Willis, Elsie Yingling, Brendan Cooper, Sienna Davis, Aubrey Dunkerley, Nehemiah Fungawing, Maggie Gleason, Ruth Hilton, Remington Oaks, Madison Reeves, Everett Speck, Jamie Bell, Bella Bowman, Ellie Frazier, Millie Johnson, Isabel Canu, Dustin Lawton, Kaylin Mosley, Sadie Michigan, Tony Rowland, and Easton Tutton. We also have Maddox Daniel, Antonia Granada Vaca, Andrew Hamilton, Liam Halloway, Caleb Hughes, Heidi Lee, Alec Lucas, Jackson Clemens, Lucia Siegla, Dean Wood. For fourth grade, Colton Andrews, Kylie Bonds, Mason Brown, Lila David, Addie Floresta, Mackenzie James, Jordan Jemison, Hiller Maynor, Samuel Ross, Hudson Terrell, Jordan Tao, Cooper Walker, Songy Willis, Deacon Kane, Edison Jones, Emma Ray, Will Reed, Andrew Rupp, Evie Sabon, Jacob Stevens, Alina Van Kirk, Eva Vaughn, Olivia Watley, Harry Williams, Kiara Clark, Madeline Hendricks, Marion Howell, Prue Moore, Nathan Aluwami, Harper Reeves, Emily Walburn,
Mackenzie Wright, and Andrew Wine.
The next award is for our principals list, all A's. This award is given to students who have earned all A's each trimester of the 23-24 school year. Students, will you stand when your name is called, and your certificate will be sent home with you tomorrow. In first grade, Mrs. Nelson's class, Emerson Burgess, Christiana Cerulli Lopes, Collins Jefferson, RJ Maynor, Ruby Morgan, Dawson Norton, Malachi Owens, Levi Ratliff, Charlie Robertson, Jackson Selinskas, Riley Cisco, Jilly Speck, Madison Waddell, and Elliot Williams. In Mrs. Attard's class, Evelyn Fortenberry, Lorelei Jones, Zora Kohler, Valerie Krause, Nathan Miller, Lainey Sudbury, and Jaden Wiggins. In Mrs. Huggins' class, Riley Boatwright, Bryson Chambers, Christian Cooper, Gabriel de la Vega Rodriguez, Leighton Greening, Noah Helton, Vivi Enser, Mia Jacobs, Clara Jimenez Noriega, Abby Rowland, Zoya Tavaloki, and Lori Wollaston. In Miss Ringwald's class, Mason Busby, Dylan Hawthorne, Jacob Lepeak, Chandler Neal, Panyota Nikolopoulos, and Ava Willis. In Mrs. Van Horn's class, Jack Abel, Lucy Bramlett, Raleigh Brown, Ramon Bam Brown, Olivia Buteau, Russell Douthit, Joshua Galvin, Sakara Holloway, Caroline Kitsch, Cash Wizard, and Ansley Gambor. In second grade, Miss Davis' class, Carter Atchley, Paxton Davis, Hunter Dial, Hendrix Donovan, Corbin Kohler, Colin McKinnon, Oluchi Nwiki, Jaden Palmore, Reagan Quigley, and Mary Claire Thompson. In Mrs. Floresta's class, Ariana Degahi, Nancy Foster, Eileen King, Sienna Ramsey, and Emmy Reedy. In Mrs. LeClaire's class, Henry Bonds, Elijah Boras, Charlotte Eanes, George Kling, Mona Madhu, and Noah Robertson. In Mrs. Romine's class, Zoe Bosa, Emma David, Cassidy Geyer, William Howell, Isaac Jones, Patrick Smith, and Emma David. In third grade, Mrs. Collins' class, Layla Brown, Will Dornberg, and Dakota O'Neill. In Mrs. Hughes' class, Anna Free, Grayson Godley, Evelyn Kurtz, and Ryo McNeil. In Mrs. Sharp's class, Hannah Beal, Jack Foster, Ella Paramore, and Noah Williams. In Mrs. Wilczynski's class, Delaney Douthit, Wesley Neal, Kendall Selinskas. In fourth grade, Mrs. Bear's class, Sophia Elizalde, Mila Fanaki, Jackson Hill, and Gabriella Irby. In Mrs. Martin's class, Kenna Desai, Oliver Houston, Everly Ragsdale, Thomas Sharp, Annie Swanson, and Cash Sweet. And in Mrs. Reynolds' class, Mason Jones, Ella Lindsay, Henry Maluk, Drake Smith, and DJ Thomas. Next, we want you to sit back and enjoy a few of our favorite memories from this year. As you watch this little presentation, look at the smiles, look at the fun, look at the learning, look at the friendships. It's so exciting and heartwarming.
I know someone who knows what I'm up against. I know someone who's here in the midst of it, fighting for me in a battle I can never win, all on my gives us hope for each new day. When the world feels dark and lonely, His love illuminates. He's the one I trust and I will follow Him. He is the light that breaks through the darkness. Follow His lead and light it up, light it up. Jesus will guide us through every dark time. Follow His lead and light it up, light up the world. Jesus is the one who lights our way. He gives us hope for each new day. When the world feels dark and lonely, His love illuminates. He's the one I trust and I will follow Him. He is the light that breaks through the darkness. Follow His lead and light it up, light it up. Jesus will guide us through every dark time. Follow His lead and light it up, light up the world. I'm gonna follow Jesus wherever He will lead me. I'm gonna follow Jesus all the way. I'm gonna follow Jesus wherever He will lead me. I'm gonna follow Jesus all the way. He is the light that breaks through the darkness. Follow His lead and light it up, light it up. Jesus will guide us through every dark time. Follow His lead and light it up, light up the world. Light up the world. Light up the world.
How amazing was that, boys and girls? Way to go, worshiping the Lord. I know he loved hearing that. Next up is our scholarship award. This award is going to be presented to the individual student in each class who has the highest overall grade point average for the year. For first grade, Miss Nelson's class, Dawson Norton. Miss Attard's class, Jaden Wiggins. Miss Huggins' class, Mia Jacobs. Miss Ringwald's class, Chandler Neal. And in Miss Van Horn's class, we actually had a tie down to the 100,000th place value. That is Jack Abel and Joshua Galvin. Let's give a round of applause to our first grade one more time. For second grade, Miss Davis's class, Jaden Palmore. Miss Floresta's class, Sienna Ramsey. Miss LeClaire's class, Mona Madhu. And Miss Romine's class, Patrick Smith. One more round of applause. For third grade, Miss Collins' class, Lila Brown. Miss Hughes' class, Ryo McNeil. Miss Sharp's class, Jack Foster. And Miss Wilchinski's class, Kendall Zelinska, excuse me. 4th grade Miss Bears class, Mila Fanecki. Miss Martin's class, Everly Ragsdale. And Miss Reynolds' class, Mason Jones. Next up, we have our Christian Leadership Award. This award is given to a girl and a boy in each class who has been a godly example to their classmates, consistently exemplifying Christ in both their word and their deeds. They will be receiving a certificate, a Christian Leadership Brag Tag, and a Praying Hands medallion. Miss Nelson's class, Riley Cisco, Dawson Norton. Miss Attard's class, Lainey Sudbury, Mason Musa. Miss Huggins' class, Lori Williston, Noah Helton. Miss Ringwald's class, Ava Willis, Christian McDonald. Miss Van Horn's class, Ansley Yamber and Cash Wizard. In 2nd grade, Miss Davis's class, Presley Stevens and Corbin Kohler. Miss Floresta's class, Eiley King, Braxton Abernathy. Miss LeClaire's class, Mona Madhu, Weston Rhine. And Miss Romine's class, Emma David, Theo Skibicki. In 3rd grade, Miss Collins' class, Dakota O'Neill and Wilkes McElhaney. Miss Hughes' class, Anna Free, Remington Oaks. Miss Sharp's class, Millie Johnson, Easton Tutton. Miss Wilczynski's class, Delaney Dothett and Dean Wood.
And fourth grade, Miss Bear's class, Songyi Willis, Colton Andrews. Miss Martin's class, Annie Swanson, Edison Jones. Miss Reynolds' class, Ella Lindsay and Drake Smith. And next, I'd like to call Dr. Houston, our assistant head of school, to present our next awards.
The Lower School Eagle Award is presented to fourth grade students who have earned Principal's List Honor Roll every grading period in first through fourth grade here at North Cobb Christian School. They will receive a certificate, a brag tag, and an Eagle trophy. Mila Funaki. Everly Ragsdale. And Drake Smith. The Live Like Walker Award is in honor of Walker Phillips. Each year, it will be given to a fourth grader who exemplifies Walker's character and heart, including leadership, confidence, kindness, loyalty, and joy. Walker's smile brightened up our halls. He was filled with encouraging words for his classmates and friends. He was competitive but inclusive, and he always wanted the underdog to succeed. The Walker Award goes to Jacob Stevens. Jacob was nominated for the Walker Phillips Award by his fourth grade peers, both in and out of his own classroom. Jacob and Walker share many of the same character traits that make them not only well-loved, but a great role model to others. Jacob is a loyal servant leader, from his quiet and humble obedience in the classroom to his desire to include and encourage his peers on the playground and the football field. Most importantly, Jacob strives to see Jesus in all situations, understanding that today's trials will lead to future testimonies that can be used to impact our culture for Christ. Congratulations, Jacob.
We're
We're going to end with a closing word of prayer by one of our fourth grade Christian Leadership Award winners who did not know that I was going to ask her to do this before she came across the stage. And then stay put because we have a few closing remarks. Annie?
Bow your heads and close your eyes. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. I hope that we have a great rest of our day, and thank you for all the teachers and prayer pros and parents and everybody here that is able to make their kids or grandchildren be able to go here, and anybody that doesn't know you, that they can come to you. And thank you for everything that we're blessed for, and that you know everybody's prayer request, and if anybody's going through a hard time, that you know what you could do for them. Amen.
It's hard to believe that May is here. I feel like we were just together kicking off the new school year. Time really flies. Students, we are incredibly proud of each and every one of you. Remember, the end of the school year is just the beginning of a new adventure and opportunities. Continue to strive for excellence, be an influencer, and follow after God. Parents, you are welcome to take pictures with your children, but please leave them here at school. We have some awesome activities planned for them today, and even though the grades may be done, the learning does not stop. So we have a few important notes. If you are re-enrolled in lower school, this past Friday, you should have received a summer learning folder packed with everything you need to know. Sorry, fourth grade parents, this is for third and below. This includes all the important information from school supplies to challenges to consignment sale. We have our summer reading challenge listed in there, which is not only for books, but for Bible reading. We want to encourage our students to be reading the Bible. We have our Math Fact Fiesta. We had a great celebration of learning our math facts. Being able to know our math fact with fluency and automaticity will really set your child up for success. So just a few minutes every day will really help them a lot. And don't forget the postcard, my favorite, the postcard paparazzi. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know where you've traveled or what you've done, the fun, exciting things. We're looking forward to using these in chapel and celebrating the awesome places and the adventures that you guys will have. So check out your child's backpack if you didn't from Friday and look for that folder. Tomorrow you'll receive an envelope that has all your end of the year awards as well as final report cards and COGAT scores. So those will be coming home in the backpacks tomorrow. Thank you for being here. We hope you have a wonderful summer and we look forward to seeing you next year. We already have some great events planned that you won't want to miss. Check that folder out for the date for Popsicles in the Parks. Thanks for being here. Have a great day.
In a world of hate and vengeance, your word speaks of forgiveness. Yes, our God cannot be moved. Yes, our God